seemed to be plenty of supply of lending available, and that when we look at the inflation outlook, we concluded that the same the same assessment was appropriate this time around. Now, you asked me to compare with other central banks. First of all, I think that comparisons, for good reason, are odious, simply because we are not talking about the same economies. Their outlook is different. The level of inflation that they have is different. Some of them are either at or above target already, including in the inflation outlook, and that fully justifies that they adopt different approaches. Some of those central banks are in commodity producers and exporters economies, and that also justifies particular approaches. So clearly, the euro area is a very large market economy. It is not a small, open market economy. It has to decide on the basis of data what the monetary policy should be in order to deliver on our mandate, which is price stability. And I can assure you that we are fully committed to our 2% inflation in the medium term. That is our target. We have affirmed it in July. We are absolutely determined to deliver on that target. But we have to do that on the basis of data. We have to be patient. We have to be persistent as to our policy going forward. And that is particularly so at the effective lower bound where we are, as we have indicated in our strategy review recently.
Thank you. And now the next question goes to Klaus Rainer Jakisch of ARD Television. Klaus Rainer, over to you, please.
Good afternoon, Mrs. President. Thank you very much for taking my questions. The first one actually is not mine, but one we are receiving a lot by viewers, listeners, and readers at the moment. And if I may, I would like to summarize it like this. They would like to know what are the preconditions to be necessary for the ECB to return to a kind of normality, and meaning by this that interest rates are going up again and that the bond purchases would be reduced or even stopped. And my second question relates to some research. The Center for Economic Research in Mannheim, Germany, has done recently, and they looked at a correlation by analyzing statements and speeches of ECB governing council members, and they found some correlation there. On the one hand, between fiscal interests by member states and monetary policy, rather than price stability and monetary policy, which one perhaps might expect. Basically, they're suggesting that there is a certain kind of focus on fiscal policy by some governing council members, and that is a suggestion, influence the decision-making process. How do you feel about these findings? Thank you very much.
Well, thank you so much. Let me clarify, first of all, that the European Central Bank is independent and is bound by the Treaty of Europe, to put it simply, which gives us one mission, and that is price stability. So, as I said, we are committed to deliver the price stability that forms our mission under the European treaties. This is our commitment, and we have defined it very specifically by indicating that price stability, for our purposes, will be defined as this 2% symmetric target in the medium term. So that is what will guide us in delivering our monetary policy as the quarters and the years go by. Second point, as you know, we are still operating on the basis of the Pandemic Emergency Purchase Programme, and that was fully justified given the totally exceptional circumstances and very severe circumstances that affected the whole world, but particularly the euro area, which we are concerned about. This Pandemic Emergency Purchase Programme, PEP, is, at this point in time, in my view, going to end at the end of March 22. So you asked me about the return to what you would regard as normal policies. I'm not sure what is normal policies. There is the traditional tools that were used in the past, and that have been used to good effect. And over the course of the development of the financial crisis in particular, of the European sovereign debt crisis, new territories had to be explored in order